Hello, everyone. It is time to rank those players after Liverpool drew 0-0 with Arsenal at the Emirates. The most smile-full draw, 0-0 draw I think I've ever experienced. Chris Pajak, over the moon.
Mate, because I've just opened the app to look. I wonder what the player ratings are. Alisson got our man of the match.
What?
On Fort Mob, Alisson was given our man of the match, and I'm a bit like perplexed at how that happened.
Because 4 saves. Stats, man.
You big
stats. Right, okay. Fine. We will be discussing Alisson's ranking very shortly, but to kick things off, got a bit of a double header for you guys. We're going to split things up. We're going to discuss Milos Kerkez and Jeremie Frimpong.
Yes! You know it's the truth, man. What started as an accident will soon take over the entire world.
Yeah, right, cool. Milos Kerkez, who has been so much, I think, the whipping boy, I think, this season.
Much maligned Milos.
Much maligned Milos. And I think particularly as well, there was a clip doing the rounds, I think, I don't know if it was from Monday Night Football, and Jamie Carragher describing him as like a Darwin Núñez of left backs, that kind of thing. And yeah, I know what he's saying, but it's just everything feels like a bit of a pile on to him. But this is now 2 games against the team that's going to win the league this season in Arsenal, and he's been brilliant in both of them. And yeah, first and foremost, Chris, Milos Kerkez, 60.6% of the vote has put him in boss.
Yes, lads. Love a little bit of that. And why not? Why not? He's going up against Bukayo Saka, one of the best players in the league, I'm told. And I don't see it. I see he's a really good footballer. I do. I see he is. I think he's a really talented player, but he's just a tier below the great players in the league for me. He really is, and that's because he's playing at a position in the pitch where he should do more. And I don't know whether that's the manager or for Arsenal or not, but I think Saka's got the potential to be a 25 goal a season player. And he's not doing that right now. So he hasn't fulfilled his potential for me yet, although still a fabulous footballer and a great watch. Not tonight, though. Milos Kerkez was it tonight. Milos Kerkez had him and he stuck to his task admirably. And they were trying things in that first half as well. They were trying to get Timber in there, dragging Gakpo inside so they could get Saka one-on-one. And one time, I think maybe Saka goes past him. He goes for that sort of swinging block and gets all out of play. And Saka does what he does and he gets down to the byline and he goes past McAllister and he nearly creates something, but nearly and not quite are 2 things that both happened in the same play. So for me, after that, Kerkez dominated that battle. And Kerkez was able to get forwards at times as well and push Saka back. And then late on, Madueke comes on and plays on that right-hand side. And how did Arsenal get that corner in the 94th minute? Kerkez shutting down Madueke. 94, 95 minutes into the game, still doing it against a fresh Madueke as well, after 45 minutes earlier on in the season or whatever it was, where he really did a great job against Madueke. So again, these are the things that you need to keep on building on. This is a great performance by Kerkez, but I want to see more as well because he's got that in his locker, Paul.
Yeah, absolutely. I just think he stuck to the task really well, like everyone on the pitch. If we're being patently obvious about it, there was one moment in the first half. It was the first counter-attacking moment that we created. We managed to get out, and it broke to him. And I'd have liked to have seen him just really go for it, really push on. But he stopped and tried to cross, and it didn't quite work out, which is fine. Again, it was the first one. We're not great at that, like that final sort of passing or counter-attacking. I've been for a couple of years or a few years. And there was a good opportunity in the second half where I want to see him just really stretch himself down the left. And I think he does play within himself a little too much in an offensive sense, particularly when Gakpo's in there. But again, you're up against Saka, and I know. Look, the point that Chris is making is that Saka is a threat. You can see that. Everyone watches Saka and he terrorises defences. And we saw him a couple of times get to the byline. There's one where he does, and then he goes past McAllister in the box as well. And you go, good God, like what a talent he is. But he is their main man. And if you can shut him down, then you shut down a lot of what Arsenal do. And that's where you've got to give credit to Kerkez, really, because as much as we're trying to say, look, he's not as good as Saka, isn't as good as Salah. In fact, this season, I'll reiterate the point from Chris Page on the podcast. He is as good as Salah this season. They both got the same amount of goals and assists in the Premier League this season. Although technically Saka's played more minutes and Salah's meant to be crap. So bear that in mind. But no, he is a threat.
Been gone for a month, Salah, as well, by the way.
No, exactly, yeah. He's a threat. He's a threat of a footballer. And you would expect, if all of the hype around Kerkez was correct, he should have absolutely crumbled tonight. And he didn't. He really stood up to the task. So I'm made up that everyone's got him in boss. Shall we do Jeremie Frimpong?
Absolutely. You talked about attacking threat, and there was attacking threat from Saka, but I would argue that Frimpong gave more attacking threat to his side than Saka did to his. And that's interesting in and of itself, isn't it? Because Jeremie Frimpong today, again, I thought first 20 minutes, I was like, I was thinking to myself, how does Frimpong get in this game? Because how did any Liverpool player get in the game? And after the first 20 minutes, you're thinking, it's pure low block. It's so gnarly. It's disgusting. I don't like to see it. And then we had a sort of counter-attack. I think you said to me in the watch-along, it was Szoboszlai maybe, sort of slowed it down, ball. And then all of a sudden, Liverpool put the foot on the ball and earned the right to play a little bit. And it gave them that sort of seed which grew in the second half. And then in the second half, I mean, Frimpong comes alive, doesn't he? He's in and around Nkape. He's flying in behind Milos when he comes on, and he just starts becoming dangerous. He's an outlet over and over, and the pace just continually causing problems for whoever he was coming up against, and the willingness to get in there. You know, he has one where I think it's great play from Saliba. He's trying to put it onto Florian Wirtz's toes inside the area. The only thing with his performance that I could knock Frimpong on today is lacking a little bit of composure when it comes to his crossing. But again, much like Kerkez, not the start he's wanted to this Liverpool career, Paul. So this is a foundation to build from. We know he's dangerous and we know he's got that end product as well. Yeah, 56.3% of the vote put him in boss, which I think is absolutely spot on. It's interesting, actually, that Kerkez was actually more definitive. The Frimpong thing, I think it's a fair point. But it's, as we saw with the Fulham game, he comes on and he really struggles to get in the game. His passing's off, his dribbling's off. He's just a bit cold coming into the match. But then we craft him a crossing situation and he puts in the best cross of the game and Cody Gakpo scores from it, which is just absolutely magic. You only need one cross to go right. And as you rightly pointed out, the best one of the game was a cutback to Florian Wirtz, and we were like, oh, he's played it behind him. He didn't. It was great defending from Saliba, who just got enough of a touch on it to take it away from Wirtz. And that was it. That could have been it. The inch perfect moment that creates the goal. So, you know, he's been on a rich vein of goal creation since coming back into the side from injury. He's just a threat. He offers us a different dimension. We are at times a very, very slow football team. And look, he's not got that killer edge that Mohamed Salah has and has had throughout his career, but he does it very differently, but he does it in a very exciting way, and pace changes dynamics of games. And Saka does it. Saka makes you absolutely live on, you know, just on the edge of your seat if you're an Arsenal fan, and he makes you like sit clenched if you're an opposition player. And yeah, it's nice to have a player like that playing for Liverpool, really. So yeah, I mean, 34% wanted to put him in decent. Apparently 1.7 wanted him in your messing, which I can only presume was not understanding how the voting works. We get that every week. But yeah, boss, because it had to be. It really did. And it wasn't just the attacking side of things, was it? He did work so hard. Even in the second half, those rare occasions when Arsenal had the football in the second half, he was back there. Remember the one where he shadowed it out of play against, was it against Milos or Nkape? Was Nkape still on the field there? Or was it midfielder?
I know what you mean.
But he's working so hard to make sure that Liverpool getting themselves a goal kick and get back on the ball and therefore back on the front foot and stuff. So yeah, I think defensively he worked really hard. And I don't think he's a bad defender. I just don't think it's natural instincts. So if he was to play, you know, obviously we're going to talk about Connor, who looks like he's picked up a bad one again. Frimpong could play right back for me, but right now he looks so threatening and so exciting in further forwards. I think the attack would miss him.
I again, even the defensive thing, I've not seen anything in his game that tells me that he's not a good defender. Yeah. You know, I was waiting for it. I was expecting to have this total one-trick pony of a footballer come in. I was going, oh, well, he's a wing back, really. Can't play right back. He sticks to the task. He gets in. He's got the pace to get himself in. And I haven't even seen it in like that Kyle Walker way where he gets caught out of position. He has to race back. He's just there. He's just always where he needs to be. And he had a real dimension to our game. And I just got his heat map up for talking's sake. Like the vast majority of it is right wing. It's all in their half, but there is like a real pop-up of a real hot spell right in the right back position where he is going back in and actually allowing Conor Bradley to tuck in and allow us to defend the box more coherently. And yeah, Frimpong, he was brilliant. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. You gave him man of the match on the watch along. He's definitely in the contention for that. Let us know your thoughts on both of them in the comments. Anything you want to add to the performances? What did you like? Things to build on? Has it changed any of your opinions on them based on the performances that you've seen from them tonight? Or just more of what you know those players are capable of?